It's 10 out of 10.
Sorry, if you'd like to just remove the lid.
I thought you were giving me a stone then. Well, hey.
So this is our celebration of N25 Beluga Reserve Caviar. There's a scallop mayonnaise on there, a barbecue scallop and wagyu fat sauce. There's some Amalfi lemon in there as well.
Lovely, thank you. Right. Another one of those dishes I'm going to mix up. So, have the caviar, Amalfi lemon, I've had caviar a couple of times. I've been round to Harrison Webb's on over Christmas. Thank you very much, Harrison. Harrison, that's how you have caviar. That's it's quite mild. Give the sauciness. We've got lemon in the background. It's very creamy. Wow, it's a 10. It's a 10 because I'm not a massive fan of caviar, but I am now. My tastes have changed, the palates has changed, I've changed as a person. Shocking.
So moving on, this is our cod course now, our Atlantic black cod. We've got some miso curry pan sauce, then just some plankton powers over the top.
Okay, so cod. Lovely, thank you. So, where do I put everything? Oh, just, we take a close up here. You see the flakes of cod just coming away? Cod is very, very, very delicate. Beautiful creamy sauce with it. And the powder on top just puts that little edge to everything. Marks? Eight and a half out of 10. A mini mug of beer.
Definitely. So this is, to use my previous quote for the salt cod soup, so I've looked in here from the boat chewing the black one itself. Finished with some smoked butter, a bit of pasta oil, pint of lamb behind.
And you just pick it up and knock it back? Oh, story of my life with a beer. So, a nice foamy head on top. Now that is interesting. It's warm. Some nice velouté to it. Very mild in flavour and taste of the cod. Very, very mild. I kind of get it now with the last course. Because this is the follow-on and the backup to the last cod dish. Oh, marks. I'll give that 9.5 out of 10. Another one taking half a mark off. I suppose because I've had such brilliant quality tuna as well. That's a 10 out of 10. I'm being a bit silly there, taking half a mark off for something which I don't know what I'm taking half a mark off for. I'll use it this time. Yeah, I haven't used it once properly.
So guys, this one is our Singapore style chili crab. And also a steamed bun, which we then deep fry so you can lock up the rest of the sauce.
Okay. So crab. Just wondering a sponge to use there. Singapore style. Whoa, that's quite a strange combination as well. Crab. Crab is very, very delicate, but the sauce underneath is really quite fiery. What I don't worry is, will it overpower the crab? But it isn't, quite literally, because you're getting the crab flavour first, and then this fiery sauce afterwards. And you can actually see it's a very fiery red colour. Crab is incredible. We'll have it with the bun. Oh, that's really hot. That bun just crumbles away. That's the easiest 10 ever. That's clever.
So your next course is our lobster tail. It's been barbecued. It's served in Nam Gem sauce. Just be careful, this one is very spicy.
Very spicy.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Nan Gen sauce. Lobster. Saw the lady up there cutting the tail of the lobster. Fine. It's got a pungent smell. Lobster. Absolutely beautiful and delicate. So the Nanjing sauce has just overpowered it for me slightly. Kind of taken my breath away. And obviously lobster is just so soft, delicate. The taste of the sea, a real freshness. I think the zing of the Nanjing is overpowered. I give them that an 8 out of 10. Only because they're overpowering it. And that's not white boy spiceless.
So moving next to our next lobster course, so barbecue lobster claw, peanut satay sauce, candied peanuts, and kaffir lime zest on top.
Lovely, thank you. So this is from the lobster claw. It's a peanut sauce there. Some flying out of it. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the really taste of lobster was lovely with the bits on top give the crunch. Peanut sauce is not overpowering the lobster at all. It's a nice balance between the sweetness of the lobster and the sweetness of the peanut sauce. And a lovely punch on top. Excellent textures there. That's an 11 out of 10. That could be a 12 out of 10. That could be the best course I've had. That is absolutely incredible. Incredible.
Moving on now to Thai green curry,
Thai green curry.
blueberry shrimp, braised and smoked aubergine.
Now we're talking. Thank you. So it's a Thai green curry. It's got a nice foam on top. Got the shrimp. What is it? Raw prawns. This isn't my taste. I'm not enjoying the texture and the taste of the prawn. That is definitely my personal choice there. The sauce itself is incredible. It does taste like Thai green curry. Got one on steroids. But because it's not from my palate and my taste, I'm going to give this 5, 6 out of 10. That's that. So, but you've got to bear in mind, this is just my taste. Your birds?
Wow.
Lard.
Wow. So yeah, that's like a traditional Thai salad.
Oh, right, okay.
Uses minced pigeon duck. This one is quite spicy.
Quite spicy.
You go a little revisit from the Nanjing sauce.
Yeah, that was spicy. You know me. I'm kind of a little bit stuffed here because it's spicy. Whoa! It was strange this time. Again, the full flavour for me. And the rice is going to be helpful in bringing everything completely down. Oh, I like that. 10 out of 10. I like that.
As we're sort of transitioning from the more spicy part of the meal,
Yeah.
the more mild part, is there is sushi ginger shaved ice.
The sushi ginger shaved
It's
ice.
like supposed to mimic like sushi ginger. You have a lovely pickle. You set it with some gelatin. You know over there?
I saw the lady doing that.
So we slice it. It comes out like leaves, like sushi, like you would get in sushi, like pickle ginger. That's completely frozen.
Lovely, thank you. Perfect, thank you so much. I saw the lady on the press there and I was trying to figure out what she was doing. I actually thought it was going to be pressed up or something like that. So, sushi ginger. And as the chap said, it's more of a planet. I'll stay off the wine now, palate cleanser. where he's saying it's ice, it is. It just disintegrates in your mouth, and you're getting a beautiful flavour of the ginger. That is absolutely. Look at, oh, that's ice cold. Look at the little layers. That's the best sorbet in the world. Oh, that's a 10. That's clever. Oh, sorry. I'm actually the idiot here, so I do apologise.
Now, this one, the miso cured foie gras, been in a miso cure for around 3 months. We have a Hokkaido scallop on that, fresh green strawberry, and some Tongan essence here.
Thank you.
Okay.
This one I'm going to struggle with a little bit because I'm not a fan of any aspect of foie gras. So I'm just going to have a little sample of it. So you've got the scallop, the foie gras, the strawberry. So let's have a combination of everything together. This is one I'm not going to mark, only because of my personal thoughts in foie gras. What I'm going to do, let the cameraman try it, I'll give you his score, I'm going to go from there. Okay, that really worked, cameraman's not a fan either. So I don't think it's fair for us to judge this on no score. Not like a 0 or anything like that, just not going to score that.
So this here is our crispy duck course. So you've got a leg and a breast there. Got pickled cucumber, yes, and some spring onion oil, and then just a hoisin sauce just below.
I've already had the skin, it's outrageously good. Absolutely. I'm actually going to do it. Thank you. I'm not going to do the skin again. So you've got the leg and you've got the breast. Some hoisin sauce underneath. Pickled cucumber. I've been looking forward to this since the moment I saw Gareth cooking away and having it there behind, still cooking it over the wood embers, and I can tell you that is the best stuff I've ever had in my whole life, bar none. Nothing else compares. Nothing compares to Marks. 10 star plus 12. 14, something like that. Absolutely incredible.
So here we have the French sport pigeon. Marries our own Chelsea mayonnaise. Finish off smoked eel sauce, cube soup onion roll, with a roast sesame.
So it's an eel sauce with the pigeon.
Oh wow! Dash it off with the eel bones and the trimmings. And then finish off with the hash of soy and the freezer thicken it. Really clean and have the sauce by market something.
Wow. Interesting, thank you. So you have the pigeon. You see it's come up rare, which you'd expect with a pigeon. Yeah, it's got soy sauce as well. It's going to be an interesting combination. It doesn't stand a chance after the duck, does it? I mean, just give me the duck water to the duck. I feel like pigeon, huh? That is a really robustly gained taste with it. Yeah, I'm getting a tiny hint of the eel. But again, the actual sauce with it, that is really rich as well. So the pigeon is rich, and it comes with this sauce, which I imagine has been in red wine sauce that's gone in there as well. So some pigeon and duck. When I talk about red wine sauce, the sauce is good as well. Marks out of 10. Hang on a second. 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. Struggling because of the duck course beforehand. It's never going to be that. Just shows how people's palates are completely different. I gave my score. Cameraman turned around and said that's his favourite dish out of all of them. Gave it 11. So it's down to everyone's perspective on what they like and what they don't like. So difference of opinion. We have a difference of opinion. This is what we talk about. Wagyu.
This is our A5 female Wagyu. There's some cured egg yolk on there and some daikon roshi. So daikon roshi is like a minced up daikon, so it's similar to a radish.
Oh, I knew that.
We got in some ponzu juicy.
That's brilliant. Thank you. So kind of like a radish on top. A5 Wagyu. Heavily marbled. You can see the marbling on this. Cuts like butter. I don't know what film that came from. Now that's Wagyu. It's not a heavy, beefy flavour, but it does melt in your mouth. The marbling there has made that so juicy. That, to me, is an easy 10 out of 10. Easy, maybe more. Well balanced dish that is.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit. Some mushroom shiitake wrap. Got some ribeye in there, and then just some combo of it.
Okay? So, shiitake mushroom broth.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one for me.
Then so you drink the broth as well, because that's when you do that.
Okay, and sorry, what else is in it?
Ribeye and then some combo.
Ribeye and kombu. Thank you very much. Well, here we go, everyone. Shiitake mushrooms. Make sure you drink all of it, he said.
That's a very common mushroom. Shiitake.
Well, it had to happen, didn't it? So, a bit of ribeye. That is really tender. Ribeye was so tender, it's untrue. So we have the broth here. Shiitake mushrooms. Don't say I don't do anything. I'm going to say, if you're not going to try mushrooms in a 2 Michelin star restaurant, you're not going to try anywhere. I'm converted. That is absolutely gorgeous. What have I been missing all my life? $11 out of 10 for a dish with mushrooms in. What's the world coming to?
Carried on, so Japanese style curry sauce with some sushi rice. The meat itself is an intercostal part of A5 female ribeye. A5 female ribeye.
Okay.
And this dish is a bit of a story. Some guys at Japan yesterday at the Omakase restaurant were on the full way to taste tomato sauce. They said for the final course there, he would serve something very, very similar to this. And fish fried said it was called fish share of some vehicle. So fantastic. It's cool. Just how really good at this experience he has. And on the side there, a little bit of barbecue and then the radish.
Thank you. Wow. So basically, it's a beef curry. It's not just any beef curry, it's A5 sirloin on the rice. Then you got the curry sauce, and then you got pickle on the side here. Oh, it's already been cut. Well, I was panicking a bit there. Anyone follows the channel? You know I love the curry. Curry sauce is absolutely electric. Nothing right at the heat to go with a quality piece of meat. Can I have it? Just try it with the pickle. Kind of like that palate cleanser. Cleans out curry flavours. Oh, that's good. Oh, come on, that's ridiculous again. I'm giving that 10 out of 10.
Japanese crown plus melon.
Melon.
Yes.
Oh, this is a melon.
See that there?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we made that into some shaved ice. So that's some stracciatella cheese underneath, some cucumber syrup, and some young mint as well.
Lovely, thank you. That is ice cold. So this comes from a melon, and you basically only get one melon out of the fruit. That's it, out of the stem. So you only get one melon. So you have cheese underneath. Obviously it's iced. It's like a sorbet. Sorry, we're now on the dessert section. I think there's only 6. I'm so pleased because I am really, really full up. That cheese is gooey. How many lens does that work? How does melon work with cheese so well? The melon's really quite intense in flavour as well. It's been frozen down, turned to sort of little ice particles. As a combination, it's clever because after the heavy food that we've had, some of the heavy dishes, this is again kind of a flat palate cleanser. So all in all, wow. That was box. Well, I love it. 10 out of 10. Oh. So, it's basically a peach custard, but what the chap said was, have a smell of it, so have a smell, and that's what you're really getting. Peach. Take a look here. You've got this peach syrup on the side. Mix it through, mix it all around, get in. You're getting beautiful peach flavours. It's obviously there mixed with the bird's eye custard mix. Not. It's awesome when you go again. I know you're going to get a little bit bored of me keep saying, oh, it's a 10 out of 10, but I want more. And I'm full up. And I'm like, I want more. I want more. That's super addictive. 10 out of 10. So I have had this before, birch syrup. I had it up in Long Bloom, and it just absolutely blew me away. And it's got caviar on top, and the caviar is going to give a little bit more saltiness to everything here. Whoa. The vibes of caramel in there, nice caramel texture. This birch syrup is absolutely incredible. I've never heard of it before, but it's there. Actually, take a picture of that and I'll put it up there and you can see what it's all about. Just take a look at the ooziness of it all. The caviar is a little bit saltier, but it's not salty and overpowering everything. Again, I don't know who comes up with combinations like this because it's mind-blowing. I'll give this a 4. No, I'm not. Again, it's just a brilliant combination of flavours. 10 out of 10.
We're on number. So I'm just sticking toffee for him. So the jewel date cake, Tahitian vanilla ice cream, a Hacho miso toffee sauce. Please enjoy.
Thank you. We've got the miso sauce on top, sticky toffee pudding. Now I'm going to be super strict on this one. I can't go 10. No chance. Amen. Combination has actually calmed it down slightly where it's not over the top sweet. Well, it is. No, it's not. That's a very ingenious take on the sticky toffee pudding. But with other puddings that I've had, I cannot give this 10 out of 10 because all the others were incredibly good. But that's the best. That's 11 out of 10. I'm sorry. That is the best. And the others are incredible. With a bit of Bonsky beat in the background, I want to run away.
Oh.
I don't want to run away at all.
Frozen block.
Hello there. I'll move it all out of the way.
Right. So this one is tiramisu. Very special here on Asia. So it's made using one of the rarest coffees in the whole world. It comes all the way from Ethiopia. The city of Sudala is the birthplace of Arabica coffee. So Chef found out about this through an award called the Public Sense Award. It's got a video, it's kind of like the Oscars in the coffee world. It's quite a big recognition. And then what happened in 2021. So he wanted to try something, there's only 30 kilos available to buy, but he managed to get his hands on 10 kilos. After trying it, he refused to use anything else. So this is what the menu, so we can get our hands on it. And now we serve it with muscle belly foods on 100% by dry cocoa powder. We're the only restaurant with access to this now, as it fills out their 4 years supply. So it's the ice here edition of this.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, there's some more left. Let's do that. So, this is used this is based by using the hardest to find coffee beans in the whole world. Now, I think the lady said there's only 30 bags of it that's available, and this restaurant takes 10 of them. So it's a tiramisu. Mashed pony on top. Now I think I've had this coffee before. Harrison Webb bought it for me. Very intense and very smooth coffee. Is it worth that kind of money? I'm not so sure. But I'm not a coffee connoisseur, if you like. Bit of this cafe, mate, and I'm alright. Oh. You certainly do not need an espresso after this. That is a real punchy coffee blend, but it's not overpowering to everything that's there. It's just incredible. The thought that's actually gone into this and actually where they've got the coffee beans from as well, Ethiopia. Just incredible. A lot of research, a lot of cream and balancing with the coffee as well. It's just one of the best coffees I've ever had in my life. Even though it's a tiramisu. Oh, Mark, sorry. 10. And a half.
So last but not least, we have our Jenkins Farm milk jelly. We ice filter the milk. We're for a local dairy producer. It's unhomogenized milk comes, so we get that beautiful fat separation. We freeze the milk in one massive block. The first 25% of that weight falls out. That's what the fats and the sugars. That's what we use to set the jelly. It's got a really full on milky flavour. We then top it with some kefir lime zest, Kent mango puree, and some fresh passion fruit just to fruit.
Thank you very much. I will indeed. Thank you. The adventure comes to an end. And I am absolutely gutted. I really don't feel as though I've really done justice to this restaurant. The level of cooking is absolutely extraordinary, and I've never experienced anything that good before. My descriptions, I think, have been very poor, and I apologise for that. I'll give my confidence outside. I'm going to just quickly do this. This is jelly. Passion fruit. It's a 10. It is. It's just every dessert has been absolutely mind-blowingly good. Sorry, thank you. And I do mean mind-blowingly good. In this area is Shovel Now, the best restaurant, or the best dining experience I've ever had. Gareth Ward is considered one of the best chefs in the whole of the country. I think he is the best chef in the whole of the country. I want to apologise to himself and media. There's no way I have done this justice. If you are a massive foodie, this is definitely for you. What I suggest you do is actually come here, book a hotel, and have the whole experience and enjoy the ambience of some wonderful wines, whiskies, etc., etc. We can't do that, I have, but cameraman's driving, so we're heading elsewhere. How much did this cost? £540 per person? £540 per person. You book in advance. Now, loads you're going to turn around and say, no, madness, no, off to experiment else. The only way you can understand what I've just experienced is experience it yourself. Just everything, well, not every dish was to my liking, and we actually disagreed on certain points. The other thing is, you think this has gone on all night and it takes forever to do. You can see it's still a bit of fun out here. Well, there's no sun, but it's not pitch dark. I'll tell you how long actually the whole thing took. Just over 5 hours. Yeah, just over 5 hours. The time went so quickly. Whilst I'm giving it its 10-star, it's a simple 10-star. Quite a few of you say it's a ridiculous price. Yes, it is a ridiculous price. Are you paying for the whole experience? You're paying for this. You're paying for a dream. And that's what it is. I think it's their dream. They have smashed it out of the park. I take my hat to both of them. I apologise again, and I apologise to you guys. I probably didn't describe it because it was incredibly complex. I have had a couple of glasses of wine. I've got to pay my wine bill in a second. I'll probably chuck that at the end of the video and tell you how much I spent on wine. I probably won't actually because I won't. No, I won't. Guys, you like and subscribe to the channel. You know I appreciate it. I'm never going to experience this again. Ever. I'm damn happy I did. It is a hell of a drive here. And this is once in a lifetime, without a shadow of a doubt. You've got to try it yourself. You've definitely got to try it yourself. Is that your phone ringing? No, it's not his phone ringing, it's somebody else's. It's probably mine. Until next time, just take a look at that view. That's what it's all about. Tranquility after a wonderful, wonderful and exceptional meal.
A visitor. You must be cold. Join me inside.
Her heart was cold, but she was nobly cold. This camp looks abandoned. I wonder where the person went.
Sorry, is it just me, or have we all noticed that the minions sound incredibly French? Well, what if I told you there's actually a bit of a shocking reason for that? I'm afraid that the person to blame in this situation is somebody called Pierre Coffin. As you guessed, he is French. He is also the director of the movie series Despicable Me and The Minions. Well, yes, the animation was very much developed in their studios in America. The Minions themselves were developed in Paris. Because believe it or not, Pierre Coffin is actually the voice of Kevin, Stuart, and Bob. In fact, Pierre Coffin is the voice of all the Minions. The Minion language is actually created as a mix of many languages, a little bit like Esperanto or Interlingua. It's a little Spanish, a little French, a little English, even a little nonsense. But as you might know, it's very hard for French people to get rid of their French accent no matter what language they're speaking, which is why the Minions sound incredibly French.
That's amazing.
Minions, Stuart, la papaya! If you listen to the Minions speak, you'll actually hear French vocal patterns, like always emphasizing the last syllable in a sentence, just like we do in French. La banana, la papaya, the big boss! All you would have to do is make my voice a little squeaky, and that would very much sound like a minion. Like if I said, you are not going insane. The Minions are, to all effect, French. You know what? That actually explains a lot. So if you want to keep learning more fun facts about French culture while tuning your ears to real spoken French, the kind of French they will not teach you at school, check out my podcast, Learning.
Right now, India's youth have taken to a place called Jantar Mantar in Delhi to protest against the government. But most of the
USB cables are often poorly built, unidentifiable, and unreliable. And nobody knows that better than the creators here at OpenSauce. This place is like a mecca for the zaniest programming and electronics projects you could possibly imagine. From robots with demanding power and data requirements to devices with the strictest of operating constraints. And I bet many of these folks have run into problems with USB cables that just can't hack it. But mine can, and I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I brought this wad of cash, and I'm gonna give $1,000 to any creator I find whose USB needs cannot be met by an LTT TrueSpec cable. But that's not gonna happen, right? Just like I won't find a sponsor whose needs cannot be met by this segue. To our sponsor.
Tello. Most people don't realize it, but they're overpaying for their phone bill. Tello offers affordable plans ranging from $5 to $25 on America's largest 5G network. Make the switch today at tello.com.
First up, I'm going to need to load my backpack with any variant of our cables that a creator here might need. Second, I'm probably going to need a disguise in order to move freely around this place. And we didn't have to go very far. Our booth's like right there before finding Sentry 6. This is a really cool project, guys. If you're a Tesla driver, you're probably a big fan of the Sentry mode and just general dash cam cameras that are built into your car. But what you might not be a fan of is how little footage you can store by default. This right here, with their software, turns a Raspberry Pi into a functionally unlimited dash cam recorder. So they've told stories of people whose car was hit like 2 weeks ago when the footage would have been long gone, and then how do they get it back with one of these?
Well, the Pi automatically records basically a snapshot every hour, and then it archives it to your local NAS or server, whatever you want to put it.
I heard that you guys have had a lot of problems with folks running into low voltage issues with the Pi, or even data transfer issues. I have a challenge for you. If my cable doesn't work, I will give you $1,000 right now. You want to try it out?
Sure, yeah.
Do you have any live demos that you can run right now, or do we need to go find a Tesla?
I drove my car here from Maryland.
Can you guys spare him for a few minutes for me? Alright, let's go, man. He wasn't kidding when he said his car was a little far out there. I thought you can summon these things! This is great because I'm going to be able to actually see it in action. So do you want to walk us through what the setup's like?
Yeah, so you would plug in a USB-C cable to the actual glove box and you'll see it actually disconnected.
That's an LTT cable. Well, you're already using an LTT cable.
Yeah.
But you dragged me all the way up to your car to swap an LTT cable for the challenge. You're already using one. Maybe you could explain why you're using an LTT TrueSpec cable then.
Yeah, because I kept having issues with it powering or delivering data. It would boot the Pi up, but it just wouldn't, I don't know what it was, the cable wouldn't like show.
A little bit of voltage drop maybe?
It probably was voltage drop, or it was just the data cable wasn't proper.
That's freaking hilarious. Alright, well anyway, here's the A to C.
Yeah. So that would go in the actual glove box. And it's really small.
I feel like I'm getting trolled, but also this is like the best product endorsement I could ever ask for at the same time, so I can't even be mad.
I kid you not, I've tried like 10 different USB-C cables, USB A to C, and either they failed on me or did not work out of the box.
In it goes, and now...
There's a green light, which means it's powered.
Okay.
And the little red dot should go to, the X dot should go to a red. There we go, it's available, it's working. If I click on it, it should show all my data.
That is so freaking cool. And so, thanks to your project then, you could store your entire trip over here and archive the whole thing if you want that.
Yes, I've stored a total, from Maryland to me getting here was a total of around 600 gigabytes.
And the craziest thing, man, is OpenSauce ever a cool place for cool people, is that it's free. They're still working on a way to commercialize it, but right now, this is a project that you guys can go and check out, install, and all it costs you is a Raspberry Pi to start drive.
Yes.
And a good cable.
Definitely recommend LTT cable.
You don't have to show that hard, man.
I'm not, it's true. I've gone through so many cables already, so.
Well, I'm glad we came out here. Let's head to the next one.
Did you know that your labs is in this bag?
My what?
Your labs. I have Luke in here. I've got Lucas in here. I've got all those guys in here. But most importantly...
What are you talking about?
We're going around doing something for a labs article at the show.
Oh, okay.
And funny enough, we needed one of your cables for it. I am measuring people's diffuse field head-related transfer functions. I know that sounds incredibly simple, but more or less what it is we're putting probes in people's ears, walking around.
I thought you were going somewhere else with the whole program for a second there.
That's actually part 2. Don't worry, we brought adequate lubricant for that. We're measuring people's ears in a bunch of positions around their head using machine learning to calculate what their ears measure like from 400 different positions. It's a readout showing what the signal is that reaches their brain from the outside world.
So the idea here is that if I wanted to make a perfect EQ for my ear,
You can use this.
you can dramatically simplify the process of measuring it,
Yes.
and I get something that's good enough. How good enough is it?
It's about a 1 decibel approximation under 8 kilohertz, 2 decibels under 10 kilohertz. It's pretty decent.
That's great. What do you mean
Yeah.
decent? That's awesome.
I'm happy with
Okay,
it.
well, do you want to show me how it works?
Sure. This is a standard called the Pirate. It is a microphone made by some researchers. They used it for a paper in Berlin.
Yeah.
And it's a little open source mic that can put down inside your ear canal. This isn't going to hurt you. It's not going to go in deep enough for that. And this has a 40-pound pull string in case we need to take it out. So I think that we can pull something out with, less than 40 pounds of force.
All right, let's see here. Now, this isn't going to hurt, but it is going to feel weird.
Some pressure, you might say?
Some pressure. You might actually feel an itching in the back of your throat. I'm not even kidding.
Okay, this guy needs to get plugged into here. It's actually a modified Bluetooth speaker, and we're using it wired so we can preserve the signal integrity, but most importantly, so we get the timing information right between the sound bouncing around the ground, maybe to this crowd of people.
Sure.
Now, this part isn't quite as fun.
Okay.
You're going to have to pick a spot. You remember you were filming that video recently, and you said, don't move?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to need to do that. You're going to pick a spot,
Yeah.
face in a direction, and just stand completely still while I probe you. Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Okay, that's all the measurements I needed. Now I can pull this out of your ear, which I'm sure is going to feel great. Now I get to take that data, slap it into my program, crunch it down, run it through the algorithm, and we get a spit out of how you hear the world. This might be the most excited I've ever been for a labs article. This is something that multi-million-dollar companies probably like. How much is Sony worth?
I mean, billions.
Yeah, they've been trying this for a while too. Anyway, we're actually doing it. Okay, I have all of your data in this folder, and now I can import it into my silly custom software.
So for context, the reason they care is that making it fast and practical and easy to get these measurements allows you to tune your headphones or your in-ear monitors to more accurately sound correct to a larger subset of the population. But right now, it's extremely tedious and expensive to collect this data.
But wait, there's more than that. We can actually take this measurement of your ears, apply it to just the canal of our measurement rig at Labs, and figure out exactly how every IEM measures on your ears. This is also useful for things like hearing aid data. If there's more information on transfer functions, hearing aids could be better. Pretty much anything where your ears are involved in the outside world. This is also going to help the research that we're doing in Labs. Now I just run my reconstruction here, and that is how you hear the world. That's your ear. And that's the signal that reaches it.
What can you tell me about my hearing?
I'd say it's pretty close to population average, with the exception that you have a bit more shoulder bounce than most people have.
Shoulder bounce?
Yeah, so everything that reaches your ears, obviously things are reflecting off the ground. If you're in a room, like when we treated your home theater, they're reflecting off the walls, but you have these. You have some pretty big baffles right next to your head, and yeah, you got some built-up shoulders. You're playing badminton a lot, Yeah, that's your shoulder bounce right there.
So basically, everyone else's benefit from your project is that overall headphones should get better. And hearing aids, and anything that goes into your ear holes.
And all the research that we're going to be publishing from this, all the data will be open and available for the world to use. That's the way to do it.
Hi there!
Hi.
We're at our next port of call, and I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
Step one is tell me about your project.
So this is a VR headset that we made with CRT screens. They came from these portable TVs. So there's one CRT for each eye. They're black and white and very blurry, but it will work with pretty much any PC-compatible VR game.
Okay, that's the coolest thing ever. I think you might know this already, but we recently released a line of cables called our TrueSpec cables. They're all about delivering the data rate that it advertises at the power that it advertises with very low voltage drop. Is there anything about about your setup that you think could benefit from a high quality USB cable?
We have these really long USB-C cables that are coming from the laptops and going to the headsets, but I found that the headsets, the CRTs in them, will work down to around 4 volts, and USB usually is around 5 volts, but with a long cable like that, the voltage can drop and end up being below 4 volts. And I found that was a problem with certain laptops combined with these cheap cables I'm using.
So here's the challenge. We're gonna sub in my cable. If it doesn't work, I give you $1,000.
Sure.
All right, let's try it. While I wait for a 5-meter cable, can I try it?
Yeah, so we have one headset that's playing Fruit Ninja, and one of them's playing Beat Saber.
Okay, I think you know which one I'm gonna take.
Beat Saber.
Of course. Dude! You get a little bit of that classic CRT blur. Like, obviously it's like flickering and that's not desirable. But in terms of like the persistence and that CRT fuzziness, that blur, it's not sharp, so you don't get the same kind of really sharp aliasing. It actually looks better than I expected. Incredible project. Now comes the challenge. We've got our 5-meter cable. Let's see if it can run it. To be clear, VR is not an application we necessarily recommend them for daily use. They are a little bit on the heavier and thicker side for something like VR. However, for a troubleshooting situation, when you just want something known good, that is a scenario where we would recommend them no matter what. Moment of truth.
It looks like it's working.
All right, throw it on. I mean, unless it's working, it's not working. So power's good, display's good.
Yeah.
All right, another success. Thank you for letting us check this out. What's the application? Or is it just for fun?
It's just for fun.
Just totally for fun.
I just wanted to see if it would work.
That is the coolest thing ever. Where can people follow your projects?
It is on GitHub. If you go to github.com/AlanBog.
We'll have that link down below. Thank you so much for being such a good sport. This is awesome. And that's your cable now.
I got you.
Did you recognize me earlier when I was in the mask?
I did not recognize you. I thought like, oh, that's weird. And then someone later made the connection for me.
Got it. Okay. I heard that you're showing off 240 watt charging in some capacity.
Oh, we are, yes.
I have a challenge for you. If my TrueSpec cable can't handle your 240 watt charging demo,
Okay.
I will invest another $1,000 US.
That looks like a very thin size. Is that 1,000?
They're 50s.
Okay. Okay.
You want to count it? You want to count it?
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
He knows I'm good for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Count it.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18. I want to see 19.
Yeah, very funny, very funny.
Okay, $1,000.
Okay, we've got the 5-meter. This one only runs USB 2 speeds, but this is our longest charging cable that does. It's 240 watts.
Okay. So our 16 is the one that can do 240 watts.
Yep.
We need to find a power outlet, and we need to find a 240 watt power adapter. So we were one of the first ones to ship 240 watts USB-C PD standard charging on the laptop. So we are going to use that.
Okay, and then where will they see an indicator that we're getting 240 watts?
So my assumption was that because you were gonna do this as a review, that you would bring the test equipment. So what we're gonna do is a trust me, bro.
What?
We're gonna do a trust me, bro on this. Whoa! It's charged. Right? Look at that. That's what that says in the corner there.
Trust me, bro.
You have no way of validating this?
Oh wait, I know what we can do.
Yeah?
We can use framework tool to tell us what it negotiated over USB PD.
His tool is called Framework
It's called
Tool,
Framework Tool.
and you forgot about it.
It doesn't come with Windows, unfortunately, is the problem. But we're gonna see if we've got framework tool. We have to draw enough power that the laptop negotiates up to 240 watts.
Okay, you got any stress tests on here?
Let's see, we can try to run Firmark if this is installed on it. It is not installed on it. Wait, what about that 16? The one that's got the keyboard, or this 16 that's got the keyboard. We can try that. This review is getting really long.
We'll throw some extras up at lmg.gg/floatplane if you guys want to see the full, incredibly, endearingly awkward encounter with Nirav. We've got a dedicated GPU in here now because our problem was that it wouldn't negotiate the higher voltage because the system didn't need more power, and I assume it's more efficient in some way to run the lower voltage. So we threw a dedicated graphics card in here, which, by the way, is taking like 2 minutes because framework things, and we're going to see if we can get it to draw more power now and negotiate a higher voltage.
We'll do both. We'll do CPU burner, so it burns some more power, and we'll run the GPU. And now, moment of truth. It is still not drawing 240 watts for some reason. Okay, so how do we crank it up to 240? Alright, it is charging. Oh wait, it's charging slowly. Why is it charging slowly?
Well, your battery's almost full.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's almost full, so that's not going to give us as much power as we want.
Let's have a look at what our CPU and GPU power draw.
Yeah, alright, so we're charging at 22, package power 50 watts on the CPU, and then, well, let's see, we can see the GPU 100 watts.
Okay, so we have a total of 170 watts.
So far, yeah. And this rest of the system's trying something. I know what we can do. We can charge another laptop off of this laptop.
Oh, here, I got my phone.
Yeah, we can charge your phone.
Okay.
The battery's almost full, unfortunately, so it's charging at like 20-ish watts.
But
100.
We're running a CPU burn test. Yeah. We're running Firmark, each of which are consuming 50 and 100 watts respectively. That puts us at about 170 watts. We've got the screen cranked. We've got the backlight cranked. We're charging my phone. So with all of that running, would you say it's pretty safe to say we're at least 200 watts?
Well, probably, yeah, about 200. I think that's a fair thing.
Well, then there's no way that it didn't negotiate the highest voltage there.
Yes.
Then I think we're going to call this a pass, even though it was a bit janky.
Yes, I agree. I'm sorry not to have that $1,000, but I did get a consolation prize, which is a 5-meter LTT cable.
Thanks, Favreau. It was such a good sport. Now for our final port of call, something I actually don't know what it is yet. Who wants to explain it to me?
So this is the Neo Racer. It's a product that us Neo Bios Foundation Incorporated sells. It's a 1/12 scale autonomous car kit that goes up to 6 meters per second. So what you see here, I know, it's pretty good. It's pretty fast.
So I noticed you're trying to slip this under the radar with parents with that nice low number. What does that convert to for kilometers an hour?
It's about 25 kilometers an hour.
Okay, so it's not up there with like the fastest like 6S, truggies or whatever, but it's enough to take your ankle out, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. Trust me, I've gotten a couple bruises from this thing. And really, the purpose of this car is to be a standardized model for students and teachers to buy, basically to make autonomous systems education affordable and accessible.
Okay, can we see it in action? Actually, first, can you tell me why you need a high-quality USB cable?
So Seed Studios is the manufacturer of the cables that we use, and they're very highly respected in the technology community. So we trust the quality assurance tests that they do.
I'll tell you what. Give me a shot.
Oh yeah,
you want to
race it? Oh, you want to try the cable?
Yeah. Can you try mine? Can we hook it up? Here's the challenge. If my cable doesn't work for your application, our true spec cable, I'll give you $1,000 right now.
I'm down. I'm game.
Okay. I will say this is a different model of a car we actually use for a course over at MIT called Beaver Summer Institute. I've personally spent a lot of time going through a lot of different cables and a lot of different options to power our sensors because, as you're probably aware, cables are very finicky.
And they lie.
And they lie. There are too many Amazon cables I've tried in the past in my career that just have not worked. We have an Intel RealSense D435 camera here. This is a camera that can sense color, depth, and has an IMU inside of it. We try to power each system individually. Everything is powered off this universal back here, this battery elimination circuit. But what we found is that a lot of our peripherals go through this USB hub, and especially this camera.
You're limited by the total power.
Exactly.
Time to put in our cable.
Awesome.
Wait, do you want such a long one? We have so many different lengths. That's one of our shticks, because we have like 0.4 meter, 0.3 meter, 0.2 meter.
Oh, interesting.
What do you want?
Do you potentially have a 2-foot cable? Well, this would be perfect. 1.6 feet.
1.6 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're probably going to do is one of our very easy diagnostic tests, which is plugging the cable in, running our test notebook, and seeing if all the data comes through.
Okay.
We're going to wait a few moments for the robot to turn on. When it does turn on, this LED strip will show a rainbow flashing light.
Yep. There it is.
There it is.
Nice.
So forward camera. We're going to see if we run this cell, we should see something come up from the other side, and that will tell us if the cable works.
Okay.
Here we go.
I got this on the line right now.
Look at that.
Hey, let's go.
Amazing. Look, almost zero sync issues.
Is that something that will happen a lot? Is you'll have sync issues?
Oh yes. Alan here, who I've worked with for the past 2 weeks, can basically tell you all about the different issues with these cameras.
So we've been having a lot of issues with the camera and its power draw. And one of the downsides of the camera's high power draw is that when it's in sync with everything else on the car, the camera's not going to push itself to output as many frames as possible. In the past, we specified on boot up that the camera would be running at 15 FPS, but when we actually checked it, it was at 4 or 5.
Ooh.
The way we hacked it was that we would set it to 30 or 60.
And then you'd get a fraction of that.
Yeah, and then you get it to run at 15.
Do you think one factor could be just running a shorter cable and having less loss there?
Yes, I mean, I spent a lot of time, again, trying to figure out the shortest cable to use in the systems, because, the longer the data travels, the longer the power travels, the more resistance you get.
This has actually gone better than I expected. I came into this video thinking, with all the weird esoteric things around here, that someone was going to have an application that was going to defeat our true spec cable.
Yeah.
Not yet.
The color gradient here shows you how far things are away from the robot.
Oh,
so it starts from black, and then red is closer distance, and then it goes up the color spectrum, so then it goes orange and green.
Do I get to see it in action, though?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's when we finish testing this wire, we'll put it on the floor, we'll see it start running, and yeah.
I can't wait. We're getting a locked 16.6 FPS.
Awesome! That's
just
amazing!
Absolutely consistent.
That's incredible.
You can never see
it. That's amazing. That's very consistent.
This is a way better outcome than I could have possibly hoped for.
The other thing I was going to say is we've got this almost zero latency over Wi-Fi. The computer's talking with the system over these antennas.
Yeah.
And so typically with a bad cable or a bad camera, you would see a lot of lag. And here is just instant. Going hand in front, I see it on the camera,
Oh, that's not normal?
No. Not for us.
Why is the cable affecting the Wi-Fi? Can you talk me through the data route?
The cable goes into the Raspberry Pi, then the Raspberry Pi has to figure out what to do with the image, and then toss it over the internet, and then we see it on our computer. That's what the wireless
If it's
connection
getting an inconsistent feed with bad pacing or any kind of delay, then that's going to be compounded by the fact that you're relying on wireless.
Absolutely. That's why we're so impressed when we were there's no lag. This phenomenon that happens with USB 3.0 ports that we've investigated a lot, where it actually leaks RF frequencies of a certain frequency.
Yeah.
And it jams signals our radio transmitter, our Wi-Fi, and our other things. So it would be very interesting to test these and see if it exhibits the same kind of behavior.
So for our high-speed conductors, we're using coax rather than using twisted pair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more expensive, and it makes the cable thicker.
Right.
But for what we were trying to do, which was the known good,
Yeah.
the known good cable, the single source of truth cable,
Yeah.
we felt that was a worthwhile trade-off.
No, it's amazing. Most cables don't have this kind of shielding, and so you get bad signal, you get choppy frames, you get all the stuff that we were complaining about. So no, this is great.
You are the best pitch man I could have possibly chosen in this whole place. And I didn't even think about something like this where you're sitting here going, oh yeah, it's not fucking up my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't think of that.
Yeah, so no, it's amazing. It's great for robotics. These cars have a voltage indicator. That's what the LED strip is. And our car is currently at a very low voltage. When those lights disappear, that means the entire system's dead. In the past, when we've just been running this with the camera on, we've seen our car brown out, we've seen our car drop out, and bad things are happening. But look, we're running full frames. Our car's alive. Our car's being powered, and we can still drive.
All right.
That's incredible.
Well, that worked out great. You know what else is incredible? This incredible segue to our sponsor.
Hello! Hey, boss. Lean in. No, a little bit closer. Let me let you in on a family secret. You're overpaying your phone bill. Okay? $80, $90, $100? That's ridiculous, boss. But hello, They got plans up to $25. There's no compromise on coverage either, because Tello runs on America's largest 5G network. You come to me to have your sandwich made your way? So go to Tello and get your mobile plan made your way. Need unlimited talk and data? Easy, $25. Not a big talk and just want some data? Totally fine. And I know you like all the fixes. That's why Tello's gonna give you the works for free. Hotspot and Wi-Fi calling, international calling, roaming, SIM activation. All free, buddy. They ain't gonna lock you into a contract. Wireless that doesn't drive you crazy? Let me tell you about it. It's easy peasy, bacon and egg cheesy. All you've got to do is go to Tello.com and use our link in the description to start saving on your phone bill today.
If you guys enjoyed this video, hey, go check out the links to some of the amazing projects. We're going to have them down below. And of course, go check out our link to LTTstore.com where you can get your own TrueSpec cables. USB cables are often
मैं भी खेलूंगा यार यार वीकेंड सब मारने गई अच्छा ठीक है ग्राउंड के पर बिल्डिंग के पर अच्छा रेडी हो गया ओए साथ हो गया हाँ बाबा जॉन्टे क्या चाहिए पकड़ लो यार पकड़ लो ए तुम लोग आरसीबी की तरह फील्डिंग कर रहे हो भाई लोग थैंक यू सो मच गाइस बहुत मजा आया guys
T20I India versus Zimbabwe review India இனிதே துவங்கியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு much awaited win ன்னு சொல்லலாம். But again, ஒரு comfortable win for India and first win as T20I captain, Indian captain ஸ்ரேயஸ் ஐயரோட first win ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. சுட்டி குழந்தை சூரியவன்ஷி முதல் அரை சதத்தை ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றாரு. Many more of this to see from Suryavanshi. வணக்கம் and welcome to the show, Pidon. So very happy Indian camp இருக்கும். ஒரு different support staff group ஒரு சம win start off பண்ணுங்க.
Honestly speaking, நிறைய பேர் என்ன சொல்றாங்க, ஜிம்பாப்வே அடிச்சுட்டு முன்னாடா ஓவரா பேசுறீங்க அப்படின்னு. But the way they came to the series, lost to Ireland, whitewashed by Ireland. Let me be very clear, whitewashed by England. அதுக்கப்புறம் first ODI against the pressure was actually mounting. நீங்க சொன்னது ஒரு பாயிண்ட் ரொம்ப வேல்யூ. ஸ்ரேயஸ் ஐயர் will be really the captain to register the first win. அதாவது ஒரே ஒரு பாயிண்ட் தான் டாக்கிங் பாயிண்ட் கொடுத்தாரு. டாக்கிங் பாயிண்டே கிடையாது. This is not a surprise that India beating Zimbabwe, honestly speaking. ஒரே ஒரு எந்த காரணத்துக்காக வைகோ சூரியவன்ஷியை அயர்லாண்டோட டெபியூட் பண்ணுவதான்னு சொல்லிட்டு still is a wonder kid to understand international cricket is too different to ரெண்டாவது ஒரு ஃபார்மர் கிரிக்கெட்டர் இந்தியா போட்டு திரும்பி வந்துச்சு. ஓகே, கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் greater than skill, execution and everything. அம்பையர் சொல்லும்போது பட்டர்ஃப்ளை and the confidence when he played for IPL. அந்த பால் but he had more succeeding இந்த மாதிரி பிரின்சிபிள்ஸ்ல எக்ஸ்போஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இன்டர்நேஷனல் கிரிக்கெட்ல எடுத்துட்டு வரணும்ன்றதுதான் பாயிண்ட் மேடு. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த ஒரு தப்பு பண்ணாங்க. மேட்ச் இங்கிலாந்தோட அடிக்கல நிறைய பேர் பிளாக் ட்ராக் புள்ளி அது இதுனாங்க. ஆனஸ்டா திட்டி சொல்றேன், இஸ் வெரி ஸ்பெஷலி டேலண்டட் கிட். ஆல் ஹி நீட்ஸ் இஸ் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் which he has in IPL in the same play when he plays for international cricket. Yes, I can perform here. This was given him a world of confidence. இந்த டூருக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு பெரிய டீம் அவருக்கு நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பா ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கும். 180 is going to be the winning score. 180 வரணும், 180 வரலன்னா கஷ்டம் அப்படிங்கும்போது when Zimbabwe could muster only 125, சான்ஸே கிடையாது ஜெயிக்கிறதுக்கு. காசை கரெக்டாக வின் பண்ணி கோல் போட்டாங்க. அதாவது ரெண்டு இம்பாக்ட் சொல்றோம். The first 6 overs of bowling, India 26 for 3, Zimbabwe 66 for 1. முடிஞ்சு போச்சு அதே கேம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 6 overs சைக்கிள் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் கஷ்டமா இருக்கும் ஆடுறதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு. ரெண்டாவது இம்பாக்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 11 overs நல்லா செட் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா 12-20 டபுள் பண்ணிடலாம் அப்படின்னு. Zimbabwe 56 for 4 in 11 overs. டபுள் பண்ணாங்க அங்கேருந்து. இங்கே 69 வச்சு 125 எடுத்துட்டாங்க. 125 is never going to test a team like India. Even though they are coming back low with confidence, you have got no chance of defending it. Even though you add guys like Brad Evans, Muzarabani, Engarava, all you need is one over. அந்த எங்கராவை ஒரு 20 ரன் ஒரு பெல்ட்டாக பாருங்க வச்சு சொல்லி வச்சு அப்பயே உங்களுக்கு கேம் முடிஞ்சிச்சு. சாரி, ஒரு வியூவர்ஸ் அக்ஷர் பட்டேல் டீம்ல இருக்காருன்னு நினைச்சு அக்ஷர் பட்டேல் சொல்லிட்டேன் நான். அக்ஷர் பட்டேல் இல்லை, மற்றபடி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தட் இஸ் த ரீசன் தே பிளேட் ரவி கிருஷ்ணா இன் பிளேஸ் அப்படின்னு. மற்றபடி பிளேயிங் லெவல்லாம் வந்து பர்ஃபெக்டாக இது பண்ணாங்க. 3 மாஸ் போலர்ஸ் எடுத்துன்னு வராங்க அப்படின்னு எதிர்பார்த்தோம். தட் இஸ் அசோக் சர்மா, பிரின்ஸ் யாதவ், மயங்க் யாதவ் 3 பேரும் வந்தாங்க. அதாவது அதான் சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு, தட் இஸ் வாட் அ கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் வில் டூ டு, தட் இஸ் வாட் வின் வில் டூ. 3 பேருமே வந்து நல்லா போடுறாங்க. அதில் எந்த சந்தேகமும் கிடையாது உங்களுக்கு. இந்த டூருக்கு தான் நீங்கள் குல்தீப் I'm not against the Krishna. இந்த டூருக்கு குல்தீப் எடுத்துக்கோ. குல்தீப் is what you are looking at as your future prospect. குல்தீப் ஆர் பவிஷ்யத் வளர்த்திக்கும்போது குல்தீப் இங்கிலாந்துல வெளியில உட்காந்து வச்சுட்டு இந்த டூருக்கு தான் குல்தீப் எடுத்து போயிருக்கோம். Kuldip should have played, Kuldip's confidence should have been high, and when it comes to the next series against a big team, he would perform better. அதில் எந்த சந்தேகம் கிடையாது. பேட்டிங் எல்லாருமே நல்லா பண்ணி போட்டாங்க. ஆனஸ்ட்லி ஸ்பீக்கிங் டு சீ தி பில்லர்ஸ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் மேங்க் குவிக்கா போட்ட சூப்பர் பிரின்ஸ் நான் பட் இந்த 3 மேட்ச் மிஷனே நல்லா பண்ணான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஸோ அந்த ஸ்ரீலங்கா அதெல்லாம் யுவர்செல் செலக்ஷன்ஸ் முடிக்கிட்டாங்க. கொஞ்சம் ஸ்டே இந்த ஸ்டே லுக் அன்கம்ஃபர்டபிள் வீசி அவுட் ஆயிட்டாரு. டீசன்ட் the toss was a crucial factor. ரெண்டு wing factors இது பண்ணாங்க. இது சொல்றதுக்கு எதுவுமே this is what best Zimbabwe can do, honestly speaking. எப்ப பிரையன் பென்னட் எடுத்த உடனே அவுட் ஆனாரோ அங்கேயே அவங்க கதை முடிச்சு. someone who's going to really steady the ship for them to get it. அப்ப சிக்கந்தராட்டாலும் இந்த அவுட் ஆனாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் அப்படியே அடிச்சு எடுத்துன்னு வந்தாங்க. This is definitely not going to join the Ryan Bird was a decent player. He made some contribution. Wesley Madhav இது பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் மர்மானி பின்னாடி வந்தாரு. அவரும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா ஆனாரு. பட் இட் இஸ் நாட் வெரி சேலஞ்ச் இந்தியா. outlet for India. And India need this win, no matter who the opposition is. They have been under losing status. This will do a lot of confidence for them. And it's looking to see how the youngsters perform over the
one more talking point வந்து இந்த விஷயத்துல இந்தியாவோட டேக்அவே என்னன்னா, ரெண்டு ஓப்பனிங் bowlers சும்மா தண்டர் பால் சுட்டாங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பால் சிக்கன பார்த்துட்டு நானாரு பிரைன் பண்ணிட்டு, அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த ஓவர் சும்மா அவரோட பேட் கீழே வரதுக்குள்ள தண்டர் பால் விட்டாரு மயங்கி ஆடுறது. பிரில்லியண்டா பட அசோக் சர்மா ஆல்சோ லுக் வெரி வெரி குட் in terms of speed. Yes, அசோக் சர்மா is there. Still slight கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வைத்து மேட்ச் ஆட அவருமே சூப்பர் ஆயிடுவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Mayank Yadav and Prince Yadav look brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The next string of bowlers is ready, who is going to help India in terms of the second game. வந்து டெஃபினட்டா இவங்க வந்து ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் சேர்க்கிறாங்க. மயங்க் யாதவ் இதே மாதிரி மட்டும் ஆகாம நல்லா இதே மாதிரி நல்லா குயிக்கா போட்டுட்டு இருந்தாலும் brilliant for India in terms of fast bowling. அது என்னோட ஒரு டாக்கிங் பாயிண்ட் வந்து ரவி கிருஷ்ணா ஆல்சோ ஸ்டெப்ட் அப் வித் 4 overs 24 ஒரு விக்கெட். அவரால முடிஞ்சது என்னதான் வந்து அவரை கன்சிடரேஷன் சரியா போடல அப்படி இப்படின்னு சொன்னாலும், பட் ஆஸ் அ பிளேயர் அவருக்கு எப்பெல்லாம் சான்ஸ் கிடைக்குதோ அப்பெல்லாம் பர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி காட்டணும் இந்தியாக்காக. நான் என்ன பெஸ்ட் கொடுக்க முடியும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு அப்ரோச் தான் வந்திருக்காரு. பிரில்லியன்ட் பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் அவரும் கூட நல்லா பண்ணாரு. நீங்க சொன்னாங்க கார்டு எடுக்கும்போது அந்த ஒரு கான்பிடன்ஸ் வைத்து என்ன எனக்கு ஒண்ணு அந்த ரைட் சைட் யோசிச்சு பார்க்கும்போது, ஒருவேளை அயர்லாந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 2 கேம் ஆடி அதுல ஒரு கேம் இந்த மாதிரி 90 பால் அடிச்சு அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கிலாந்துக்கு வந்திருந்தாருன்னா மேபி அந்த நீங்க சொல்ற அந்த கான்பிடன்ஸே கம்ப்ளீட்லி டிஃபரெண்ட். அப்ப வந்து அபிஷேக் ஓபன் பண்ணி ஆடி இருந்தாலுமே அவருக்கு அந்த ஃப்ரீயா ஆடக்கூடிய வந்து ஒரு கிடைச்சிருக்கும்ன்றதுதான் என்னோட ஃபீலிங்காகவும் இருந்தது. பிரில்லியன்ட்லி ஸ்பாட்டட் பீட் ஆஃப். இதுல வந்து பெருசா டாக்கிங் பாயிண்ட் எதுவுமே இல்லைனாலும், பட் ஐ திங்க் இட் இஸ் a very good win for India. and ஒரு புது சப்போர்ட் ஸ்டாஃபோட குரூப்பும் சேர்த்திருக்காங்க. ஆப்வியஸ்லி அதோட இம்பாக்ட் நிறைய இருக்கும். இஷான் கிஷன் லுக் ரியலி வெல். அபிஷேக் சர்மா இஸ் ஆஃப் கோர்ஸ் இன்னைக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஸ்கிராட்சியா தெரிஞ்சாரு. ஆப்வியஸ்லி மேக் பிக் மார்க் இன் வாட்எவர் கேம்ஸ் தட் தே பிளே. வைபவ் சூரியவன்ஷி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் மெனி அதாவது கால்தரத்தை பதிச்சுட்டான் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி அந்த சின்ன குழந்தை வந்து இந்த 50 ரன் அடிச்சு அவங்களோட கால்தரத்தை பதிச்சிருக்காரு. அண்ட் அகைன் monkeys off the back for Shreyas Iyer. First win as a T20 international Indian captain. First win பண்ணிட்டாரு. So brilliant ஆ ஒரு நீங்க ஏதாவது ஆக்ட் பண்றதா ஆக்ட் பண்ணிடா. Probably நம்ம வந்து by the end of this video வந்து next game ஓட இதுவுமே கொடுத்துடலாம். நீங்க என்ன ஃபீல் பண்றீங்க அதையுமே ஆட் பண்ணுங்க. I will jump into some bit of segment. Can I? At T20 பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they're going to play on the same venue, same main practice, same teams. And I don't see both the teams making any change in each other. Zimbabwe
be it Indian. So I don't want to simply come and let a video go and not mention talking point. வெளில யார் பார்க்க உட்கார்ந்து உள்ள வர முடியாது. இது ரெஃபர் பண்ணதான் ஷெட்டே உள்ள வர முடியாது. சிவன் பூபே ஷெட்டே ஆஃப் சிவன் பூபே அதுல எந்த சந்தேகமும். ஸோ இந்த 4 பேர் வெளியே இருந்துதான் இருக்கணும். பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க வெலிங்டன் மஸ்டக்சர் இருக்காரு, லெப்டாப்ஸ் இருக்காரு, அவர் உள்ள வர முடியாது. ஷும்பா அவருக்கு உள்ள வர முடியாது. அதுக்கப்புறம் அவர் வந்து சிகா அப்படின்னு ஒரு விக்கெட் கீப்பர் பேட்ஸ்மேன் இருக்காரு, ரிசர்வர், அவரும் உள்ள வர முடியாது. சிவாகா வெளியில இருப்பாரு. They will also go to the opposite talking points when it comes to review. The most important thing we do is the factors and all these things for a different venue. They're going to play on the same, so we might not come back for a different review. Congratulations. லேண்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. வின் ஃபேக்டர்ஸ் கிளிக் பண்ணாங்க, டாஸ் பண்ணி கரெக்டா பவுல் பண்ணாங்க, கரெக்டான பிளேயிங்ல பண்ணாங்க. Hopefully Zimbabwe put up a better fight next game. Please go to the next segment.
ஸ்டம்பீட் ஆஃப் செக்மெண்ட்ல இன்னைக்கு வந்து கேஷவ் ஆதித்யா RL9 என்ன கேட்டிருக்காருன்னா, ஹாய் பீட் ஆஃப் சார் அண்ட் விக்கி அண்ணா. My question is, previously India used to have many part-time bowlers like Devdutt Sehwag, Raina, even Tendulkar will bowl off break. But in current generation, why India is not developing part-time bowlers? It will be definitely helpful for India if they have a part-time bowler. They can sneak them for an over or two. Already we have a live example of part-time bowler in India now, which is Abhishek Sharma, who bowls left-arm spin. Why Indian coaching setup is not developing these kind of part-time bowlers and didn't make them to practice bowling more in the nets? For your kind information, அவர் பார்ட் டைம் போலர்ல அவர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண லெஃப்ட் ஆர்ம் ஸ்பின்னரா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாரு. ஓவர் டு பீட் ஆஃப். இந்த क्वेश्चन என்ன ஆன்சர் வச்சிருக்கீங்க?
நெட்ஸ்ல அவங்க பிராக்டிஸ் பண்றாங்களா இல்லையான்றது நம்ம தெரியாம குறை சொல்லக்கூடாது. லைஃப்ல வெரி ஆனஸ்ட் இன் சம்திங். இஃப் யூ ஆர் ட்ரைங் டு புட் அ கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டிவ் கிரிட்டிசிசம் யூ நீட் டு ஹேவ் அ ப்ரூஃப் டு தட். நெட்ஸ்ல அவங்க போறாங்களா இல்லையான்றது நமக்கு தெரியாது. அது பெருசா வெளியிலயும் வராது. I'm sure that these guys will bowl in the nets. The most important thing is sixth bowler உங்களுக்கு சிவம் தூபே. ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். நீங்க வைக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா சிவம் தூபே ஒரு ஓவர்ல வந்து ஒரு 13 ரன் போயிட்டாருன்னா then you should develop trying to give Tilak Verma the off spinner, Abhishek Sharma the left arm spinner to give one over. திருப்பியும் சொல்றேன், ஏன்னா விராட் கோலி மாதிரி ஒரு கோட்டுக்கு நான் சொன்னது என்ன, நெட்ஸ்ல தினம் நீ ஆடினாலும் ரன்னை அடிச்சு எழுந்து உட்காந்து ரன் அடிச்சாலும் மேட்ச் பிராக்டிஸ் மாதிரி வராது அப்படின்னு விராட் கோலி மாதிரி கிரேட்டஸ்ட் பேட்ஸ்மேனுக்கு சொல்லும் போது அபிஷேக் சர்மா ஆர் திலக் வர்மா நாட் bowling much in the nets never help you. மேட்ச்ல போயிட்டு அடி வாங்கி விழுந்து கத்துக்கணும். சில சமயம் என்ன யுவராஜ் சிங் வாஸ் மேன் ஆஃப் தி சீரிஸ் இன் 2011 வேர்ல்ட் கப். ஓகே, யுவராஜ் சிங் வந்துட்டு இப்ப யாராவது வந்து ஃபுல் டைம் bowler அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ஐ பெக் டு டிஃபர் போல். ஆனா வந்து பயங்கர இம்பாக்ட் அவர் கிரியேட் பண்ணது வித் த பால், ஆல்சோ ஈக்குவலி வித் த பேட்டர். பயங்கரமா சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாரு 2011 வித் த பால் அப்படின்னு போது. அந்த காலத்துல இருந்து ரெய்னா இது சொல்ற மாதிரி ரெய்னா அபிஷேக் சர்மானா டெண்டுல்கர் முதல்ல நிறைய போயிருந்தார். மீடியம் பேஸ் எக்ஸ்பின் போடுவார், ஆஃப் ஸ்பின் போடுவார். வந்து அப்படியே ஒரு போடாம விட்டுட்டாரு. கரெக்ட் டென்னிஸில் வந்ததுனால அபிஷேக் சர்மா நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி ரிஃப்ளெக்டட் இன் தி ப்ரீவியஸ் எபிசோட்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஸ்டார்டிங் சீரிஸ் பியூட்டிஃபுல் ஆக்ஷன். டெலிஃபோன் ஒரு ஓவர் போட முடியும் அப்படிங்கும்போது நீங்க எந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல உங்களுக்கு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் கொடுப்பீங்க அப்படின்னா when you know the match is in your pocket, கோப்பட முடியாதுன்ற ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன்ல ஒரு மேட்ச் சிவம் தூபேக்கு 19 ஓவர் போட்டு 22 ரன் போடலாம். புது அபிஷேக் சர்மாக்குன்ற அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன். வாட் இஸ் த கேரண்டி that you are going to get a better ball from Dubey? நிறைய பேர் யோசிப்பாங்க, என்ன சார் பேசுறீங்க, Dubey பதில் அபிஷேக் சர்மா கொடுக்க சொல்றீங்க அப்படின்னு. Dubey இன்னும் ப்ரூவ் பண்ணல as a bowler, as a batsman, yes, as destructive. He can win games for you. The bowler பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இயர் தான் இருக்காரு. It's not that you can count your money and do it to bowl over there he goes. Sometimes he delivers, sometimes he doesn't. You don't prove and material இல்லைன்னு போது நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி என்ன பண்ணணும், sometimes the capacity to bowl over a two Those guys has to be given exposure in the game. Netsல daily and day போட்டு யூஸே கிடையாது. நெட்ஸ்ல ஆல்போய் போடுவான், பேக் ஃபுட் போய் அடிப்பீங்க, அவுட் வாங்குவான். ஏன் பாக்குறீங்க நெட்ஸ்ல? அரைக்குடி போட்டுமா, டமாட்டு கீழே அடிப்பாங்க, அவுட் விக்கெட் அவுட் கேட்ச் நேரம் போடுவாங்க, கரெக்ட் பண்ணலாம். நெட்டோட இதுவே வேற. மேட்ச்ல போலிங் போடுறீங்கன்னா ஸ்பின்னர் இருக்கும்போது தேர்ட் பாயிண்ட் ஆங்கிள் எப்படி கட்டணும், ஸ்கொயர்ல எங்க வைக்கணும், பேஸ்ட் ஆன் த பேட்ஸ்மேன் இந்த 45 சொல்லுவாங்க. ஷார்ட் பாயிண்ட்ல நார்மல் எங்க வைக்கணும், இல்ல இந்த 45 வைக்கணுமா, ஷார்ட் பாயிண்ட் வச்சு வைக்கணுமா, ஷார்ட் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கேட்சிங் இருக்கணுமா, இல்ல 30 yards இருக்கணுமா, இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய நீ எப்ப கத்துப்ப அப்படின்னா க்ளோஸ் மேட்ச்ல கத்துக்க முடியாது, மேட்ச்ல கொடுக்கணும். எப்படி
Turns out you were right. There were no yokai to speak of, only people.
Then in the
Mamashi?
to make sure that they developing as a
of your kind.
Abhishek Sharma or Indore, systematic
You're the woman I rescued. I was not indeed. What have you done to Mamashi?
Match exposure. This is what I let him know. The Nets is never going to help. Whether they are practicing the Nets or not, we don't know. We cannot comment. These are the things we can closing the
இல்ல அதான் ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க. இப்போ வந்து என்னன்னா அந்த இம்பாக்ட் ரூல் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமே நிறைய சேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்கு. பேட்ஸ்மேன் பேட்டர்ஸோட வேலையை பண்ணிட்டு வெளியே போயிட்டாங்க. ஒரு பேட்டர் வெளியே போயிட்டாரு, உள்ள வந்துடுறாரு. கேட்டகரியே வந்து பார்ட் போய் கேட்டகரியே வந்து ஒரு பேர் அப்படியே ரூல்ன்றது சேஞ்ச் ஆகிட்டே இருக்குல்ல. ஸோ ஆப்வியஸ்லி தேர் இஸ் சம்திங் பெட்டர் கமிங் அப். ஆப்வியஸ்லி இந்தியா வில் யூஸ் தேர் ரிசோர்சஸ் ரியலி ப்ராபபிலி கொஞ்சம் டைம் எடுத்து யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ் ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. ஐ ஹோப் எவ்ரிதிங் கோஸ் இன் த நெக்ஸ்ட் கேம்ஸ். அப்படின்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி பெருசா பிளேயிங் லெவல் சேஞ்சஸ் இருக்க போகல. பெருசா வந்து ஆல்ரெடி இந்த பிளேயர்ஸ்க்கே நிறைய சான்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. கேட்குமே இந்த சான்ஸ் எப்படி பண்றாங்க, என்னென்ன ரோல்ஸ் ஃபீல் பண்ண முடியும், எந்தெந்த ரோல்ஸ்ல யார் எப்படி போடுறாங்க, எஸ்பெஷலி ஃபாஸ்ட் பவுலிங் இன்னும் எப்படி எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணலாம் அண்ட் ஸ்ட்ரென்தன் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்றதுதான் இந்தியாவோட ஃபோக்கஸா இருக்குங்க. அதுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல இருக்கு இந்த கேம்.
Closing comes completely on the edge of the class. Very honest, more disrespect to Zimbabwe. Disrespect to Zimbabwe. If he did,
in the end, Mamashi was wrong. Yes, you're kind.
In the series 2-1, it is a win to Zimbabwe. Okay, அங்க போய் வந்து கட்டாதீங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் அவங்க T20 series just கட்டாதீங்க. What you have got at your disposal, even though it's a second string team to an extent, particularly the bowling unit, none of them is going to feature the next series against Sri Lanka. The talent pool, what you have got, the exposure, what these guys have got, you have to beat them 3-0. இல்லைன்னா அதை பற்றி பேசி எந்த பிரயோஜனமும் கிடையாது. இட்ஸ் a very good start. Professional both with bat and ball, the team delivered சத்தியமும் கிடையாது. ஒரு complete performance. Just don't see who the opposition is. India need is too badly and they have to beat them 3-0. Only then they got the bragging rights. Being bragging rights ni எதுவும் கிடையாது. They are expected to win. So Afghanistan 3-0 சொல்லும்போது we are expecting them to beat them 3-0. நான் ஒரு 56-44 எட்ஜ் கொடுத்தேன். Vicky வந்து 70-30 அப்படின்னாரு. Vicky got it right. I am again sticking on with 56-44. Vicky, please let me know what is your edge. We can close it up.
நானும் 70-30 அப்படியே ஸ்டிக் ஆன் பண்றதுக்காக எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு அயர்லாந்துக்கும் ஜிம்பாப்வேக்கும் ஒரே ஒரு வித்தியாசம் என்னன்னா பிளேயர்ஸ் அவங்களோட ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே இல்லை. அயர்லாண்டோட கண்டிஷன்ஸ் ஜிம்பாப்வேயோட கண்டிஷன்ஸ் இது ஸ்லைட்லி சூட்டபிளா இருக்கிற மாதிரி ஃபீல் ஆகுது இந்தியாவுக்கு. ஸோ அதனாலே தவிர மற்றபடி எந்த பெரிய வித்தியாசமும் கிடையாது. இன்சைட்ல இருந்து எதுவுமே கிடையாது. ஐ ஹோப் எவ்ரிபடி knows that over a period of time இந்த எந்த டீமா இருந்தாலும் கொஞ்சம் செட்டில் டவுன் ஆகிறதுக்கு டைம் ஆகும். அந்த டைம் இந்தியா எடுத்துட்டாங்க. அந்த டைம் ஸ்ரேயஸ் எடுத்துட்டாரு. இதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து வெற்றி பாதை அப்படியே தோணும்னு நானும் நினைக்கிறேன். என்னோட ப்ரெடிக்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து 70-30 தான் இந்த கேமுக்கு பீடா. உங்களோட க்ளோசிங் தாட்ஸ்?
I'm going to stick on with 56-41, giving some respect to Zimbabwe to just come back and put up a fight, even though I don't expect them to win. If they win, we'll only say congratulations to them. For them, அவங்களுக்கு எப்படின்னா the series victory is just winning one game out of the 3 games. இந்தியாவுக்கு வந்து the successful series, they have to blank Zimbabwe. பாப்பா என்ன நடக்குது கரெக்டான பிளேயிங் லெவல் நாங்க டாஸ் நேஷன் வாஸ் ரைட் இந்த பேட்டர் வெல் தி கோல் வெல் வி கான்ட் பி கிரிட்டிக்கல் ஆன் Zimbabwe. இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 6 ஓவர்ஸ்ல அவங்க மேட்ச் போச்சு. they tried their best to get back, but 125 is never going to challenge them, particularly someone like Sunil Vashi on charge. Hard back to Zimbabwe, well played India. We'll come back and do a detailed review whether India has closed out the series with one more game to go in Harare Sports Club, Harare, with your very more 101% accurate classification. Until then, thanks a lot and bye-bye.
Favorite. This is definitely not wrong. And by the way, it also depends on, and it really highlights that it's not that Jack gave a better performance than Heath did. They played two very different characters. Right? Jack's Joker was absolutely perfect for Tim Burton's Batman. Heath Ledger's Joker was absolutely perfect for the Christopher Nolan Batman. I don't know that Jack would have been very good as Joker in a Christopher Nolan Batman film, and I'm not really sure Heath Ledger would have been very good in a Tim Burton Batman film. I mean, they're really different characters. But listen, Jack's performance is iconic, and I still think one of the best delivered lines in Hollywood history is Jack at the desk and going, "Wait till they get a load of me." That I honestly think that's one of the best delivered lines in cinema history. I think that line's great. So he's not my all-time favorite, but you're absolutely not wrong if he's yours. Not at all. All right, thanks for sharing that, Richard. Next up, Richard also writes, What's the best Wolfgang Peterson movie? Well, I mean, for me, it's got to be Das Boot, The Boat. Like that is a movie that still haunts me, to be honest. Then you got movies like, I mean, Air Force One is great. Get off my damn plane. The Perfect Storm is an underrated film. And then correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, guys, but didn't he also direct Neverending Story? I might be wrong about that. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat. So that was Outbreak. Oh, Outbreak. Outbreak's amazing. Troy was okay, but yeah, I think to me, The Boat, Das Boot, which I believe got nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, The Boat, Das Boot. It's an older film, but to me, that's his best one. At least my favorite. All right. Next up, we've got Calamity J, who writes, "Hey John, Clayface doesn't feel like a DC horror film. It feels like a horror movie that just happens to be in the DCU, and that's the best phrase I can give it. I am so excited for this film." And you know, I kind of alluded to this in the show,
Looks like you
but I have the same feelings about that as I did when the first Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie was coming out. Like it looked, it didn't feel like a DC thriller. It just felt like a great thriller. And that was the highest praise I could give it. And will we get the same results that we got from the first Joker movie? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe yes, maybe no. Anyway, thanks for that, Clint. I appreciate it. All right, Richard K. also writes again. Do you think they will announce who the new Bond is and bring them on stage at Comic-Con? No. I mean, they might. I could be wrong, but you're asking me. My guess is no for two reasons. One, James Bond isn't really a Comic-Con kind of IP. I mean, maybe could be, but James Bond isn't a big Comic-Con kind of IP. But the second reason is, I honestly don't think they picked their Bond yet. I go back and forth on this, to be honest. But Denis Villeneuve is still 100% up to the nipples in Dune 3. And after Dune 3 is out, then he'll take a breath and they'll probably look at who casting their next Bond is. So, I mean, maybe they do have their Bond already. My guess is they don't. But like I said, even I go back and forth on that. But no, I do not expect, it's possible, but I don't expect that we're going to get an announcement as to who the new James Bond is at Comic-Con. Alright, but hey, they pulled bigger surprises before. Rich K again writes, "We know your thoughts on Daniel Day-Lewis, but my favorite movie of his is Last of the Mohicans. What do you think of this movie?" The movie's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I will take things from here.
Good. You know where to find me.
The only movie of Daniel Day-Lewis's I don't really like is, what's the, I'm freezing on the name of it. The one where they're making the movie. It's one he made later in his career. And they're making the movie, and I'm totally freezing on it now, guys. If you guys in the live chat know the one I'm talking about. But like, whether you're talking about In the Name of the Father, or Left Foot, or whether you're talking about Last of the Mohicans, he just chooses great. Oh, I think that's it. I think you're right, James. I think it was called 9. Yeah. Didn't love 9. But whether it's that, or There Will Be Blood, or whatever, he just, not only is he the greatest actor of all time, and he just is. Sure. He just is. He's the best there is, the best there was, best there ever will be. He is the Bret Hart of acting. It's not just that he's that great of an actor. He's also got an insanely great track record of picking the right projects. Even like Lincoln and stuff like, just so good. But yes, Last of the Mohicans, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, let's move on here. Next up, we got Richard again. Says, do you think we'll get a Black Phone 3 and a Meg 3 at some point? I don't think so. Now, maybe I'm wrong about this, but off the top of my head, I don't think Black Phone 2 did all that great at the box office. It made $132 million at the box office, which isn't nothing. I love the first Black Phone. Like, the first Black Phone movie, I freaking love that film. I thought the Black Phone 2 was pretty good. I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one. My guess is no. Yeah, I'm going to guess that they won't. Again, I've been surprised on those things before, but I'm not expecting another Black Phone. All right, Christopher Brickner writes, I didn't think the DCU making the second film a Supergirl film was a bad move. Neither do I. It was a problem. People thought the film's quality was mediocre at best. Oh, no, yeah, that's the problem. I didn't mind at all that Supergirl was the second film. I don't mind that at all. Especially when you introduce her at the end of Superman. I have no problem with you doing, in principle, the second film out of the... I don't think, I don't think Batman need to be the first or second or even third film. I think he should be in development by now or be in production by now. But anyway, the problem with Supergirl wasn't that they chose the Supergirl character to make a movie around. The problem with Supergirl is they made a bad movie. It's no more complicated than that. The problem isn't that they chose Supergirl. The problem is they chose Supergirl and then proceeded to make a bad movie. That's the problem. If Supergirl was great, there would be no discussions about it. Nobody would be talking about whether they should have or shouldn't have made Supergirl the next movie. There wouldn't have been any discussions about it. Wouldn't have been an issue. But it wasn't a good movie. It was a bad movie. By the way, I say that understanding that there are those of you out there who enjoy Supergirl, and that's awesome. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm jealous of you. I wish I loved Supergirl. I really do, so I'm jealous. And I'm not trying to change your mind on it. I'm thrilled that you enjoyed it. But I did not. I thought it was a bad film. I gotta call it what it is, or how I saw it. And that ultimately was the problem. It's not that they made Supergirl, it's that they made a bad movie. And that will continue to be their problem. Listen, if Clayface turns things around, it's not going to be because they chose a Clayface movie, it's going to be because they made a great movie. So we'll see how that all kind of unfolds. All right, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. All right, next up, we've got Noel Hernandez, who writes, 1 of 2. Thanos had 4 post-credit scenes, and the Infinity Stones were built up through the Infinity Saga. They're part 2. Doomsday already has 3 post-credit scenes so far, and incursions have been a present storyline in Endgame. That's true. Not a clean, but not that different. The build-up conversation is just overblown. You know what? I think you just raised a great point. Now, no, I think that the build-up argument is total bullshit. I think it's way over-exaggerated. The greatest villains in cinematic history never had build-up movies first. You didn't need some build-up movies before you did Star Wars and introduced Darth Vader as your villain. He instantly became the greatest screen villain of all time. You didn't need build-up. And build-up certainly didn't help Kang. So it's completely useless. But you do raise a really good point that, honestly, I hadn't considered before. They, as far as maybe not specific character, but narrative-wise, they have been laying the groundwork for Doomsday. It's not like the narrative is coming out of nowhere. Problems with multiversalism and incursions and stuff like that have been a presented theme in the MCU in the last 5 or 6 years. They absolutely have. I hadn't even thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right. So, look, I don't think you need build-up. You don't need it. The greatest, biggest films of all time prove you don't. Or at least many of them. Avatar is the highest-grossing film of all time. You didn't need a build-up film for the individual characters. But if you really want to have that conversation, you're right. They have been laying a lot of foundation for the story going into this. So if not the Doom character himself, which I think is completely unnecessary. Anyway, really good point. No, I'm glad you shared that, man. I just watched the Clayface trailer, and I agree with those who say it feels like a real movie. Do you think it's important for DC to follow movie cinema and vibes like that? Let's put it this way. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a consistent tone throughout all your movies. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a real diversity in tone.
They will not touch you anymore.
Similar tone and diversity in your tone will not make your movies good. You still gotta make good movies.
What did you
still gotta make good movies. But like, I remember when James Gunn said that, listen, not all, the MCU isn't all gonna feel like Peacemaker and Superman.
This one seems
We're gonna
beyond
have
the point
very
of sense.
different feeling kinds of movies. And Clayface is gonna be obviously the first big statement to that fact. And I think it can really add to the tapestry. But again, at the end of the day, if the movie's not good, it doesn't matter. You could make it a great horror film that's totally different from the tone of Peacemaker and Superman. You can do that, but if the movie isn't good, it doesn't matter. If it is good, well, then it means something. And it adds to the tapestry and the DC. But here's what it does do for them. It opens up the door. Clayface works. It opens up the door that you can tell any kind of story in the DCU that you want. You don't have to just be limited to one particular kind of tone. It works great for the most part for the MCU, but that's not necessarily the way DC has to do it. But at the end of the day, all that matters is, did you make the movie good? And that's what they got to deliver on, Corey. Anyway, great question, man. Thanks for sending that in. All right. Let's see. Noah writes, it sends in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Noah. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting that love. And Noah writes, how do I convince people that comic book movie fatigue is actually more like B-level character fatigue and actual comic book movie, and actual comic book movie fatigue doesn't exist? I've been trying with cinephiles. This feels like pulling teeth. To me, it's simply this. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine came out and made $1.3 billion. If comic book movie fatigue was real, Deadpool and Wolverine would not have made $1.3 billion. It's just that simple. If comic book movie fatigue was real, Spider-Man would not be about to make over $200 million on its opening weekend. If comic book movie fatigue were real, a trailer for Avengers Doomsday would not shatter prior to Spider-Man, shatter the previous all-time trailer views. Or sell $16.5 million worth of tickets in one day. I sent Twitter and started copying me because that's what I said this ages ago, and now a lot of people never got comic book movie fatigue. They got mediocre movie fatigue. They got tired of going to these movies and having a lot of excitement and being let down by them. It's not a coincidence. You can think in the magical fairies all you want, but I'm sorry to bring harsh reality to you. It's not some mystical coincidence that the same time the overall quality of comic book movies went into decline, that the box office results started to go into decline. It's not like some shocking coincidence that happened. They are connected. As Vision would say, there was causality. If people were just tired of comic book movies, then Deadpool and Wolverine would have been $1.3 billion. It's not comic book movie fatigue, it's mediocre movie fatigue. And the moment that comic book movies start to turn quality around, like there's a reason Superman, which was great, made more money than the previous 7 DCEU films, and it's also not a coincidence that Supergirl, which was bad, made significantly less money. It's not a coincidence. Spider-Man looks like an incredible big thing. Everybody's excited about Spider-Man because they're not tired of comic book movies. They're tired of poor quality movies. And if you put out something that looks like it's going to be entertaining and blow people's socks off and be fun, people are still going to go out to it. Because they're not allergic to comic book movies, they're allergic to mediocre movies. Which, unfortunately, for a number of years, we got a lot of from both DC and Marvel. But at the end of the day, I would say this. It's not your job, and it's not your responsibility to convince other people. Let them think whatever they want to think. Doesn't matter. If they think it's comic book movie, you go right ahead and think that. It doesn't change one bit. Anything you want to you want to be too fair, you go right ahead. It doesn't change anything for the real world. But anyway, I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that so much for saying this. I appreciate that. Alright, Cameron Bird. Since the mutant saga begins after Secret Wars, over 100% chance that we get Storm in Black Panther 3. That's a big question that a lot of people have. Most of the Secret Wars have no idea books, all romantic relationship, and all for this. Wedding vows were exchanged between World and T'Challa. Storm, and it's an iconic sort of thing that's one of the greatest comic covers I think of all time. Is this comic? Is this cover of Black Panther sitting in the Quantum Throne and Storm standing right there? Awesome! Like, you want to see power cover? There's power cover. It's iconic.
Oda Dawn, may you howl in the abyss.
I've never seen. Yeah, I don't think I don't jump right in with Black Panther stuff. I don't think they jump right in. I think that they might get around to that, but I think it'll be later. I mean, they might do it, but you're asking me my guess. My guess is that they won't do that soon. I think we'll have to wait a few years for that, if they do it at all. All right, great question, Henry. Next up, Thomas writes, what are the chances of DC rebooting again if the DCU continues to make projects like Supergirl and it ends up going down the same path as the DCEU? Well, first of all, guys, listen, I get it. Our whole culture is completely short-sighted. I completely understand. But, guys, listen, I'm on the same boat. Supergirl was a bad movie. You guys saw my out-of-theater reaction to it. This is a bad movie. You're getting no debate from me. I was one of the first people to come out of that theater and tell the world this is a bad movie. It is. But, guys, it's one movie. It's one movie. And all after one movie, it was just as ridiculous as when some people said, like, when Superman came out, again, made more money than the previous 7 DCU films, highest critic ratings, highest audience ratings, all that kind of stuff. I said, great start. But let's not throw the big victory parade for DC yet. It's a great start. It's just a start. You can't look at this thing in terms of one movie or two movies. You've got to step back and take a look at it in terms of, like, give it 5 years. 4 years, minimum. 6 or 7, ideally. Yeah, Supergirl came out, and Supergirl stunk. But despite having a really bad finale, Peacemaker's great. Superman was great. Lanterns looks great. Clayface certainly looks great. Look, all I'm saying is, it is way too early. After one failed movie, and it is a failure, to start on about, oh, is it time to reboot? No, my goodness. Listen, Troy Aikman, Hall of Famer, multiple Super Bowl champion quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, who suck. But anyway, Troy Aikman, do you know how many games he won in his first season? Remember, Hall of Famer, multiple Super Bowl winner. Do you know how many games he won in his first season? Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, because it was a long time ago, but I believe the answer is 1. I think his entire first season he won 1 game. And yeah, guys in the live chat are confirming that. 1 game. Oh, time to change quarterbacks. Oh, guys. What? Guys, it was his rookie year. There were issues. Just like with DC, there are issues that there's baggage and issues they had to deal with that had nothing to do with Troy Aikman. and there's issues and baggage coming over from the DCU that the guy did. It was the first season. Take a breath. Understand that how good or how bad this kid is going to be is going to take more than the first season to figure out. And the guy went on to be a Hall of Famer, multiple-time Super Bowl champion. So my encouragement to everybody is, okay, yes, Super Bowl was a miss. No doubt. But, guys, it's one move. Let's pump the brakes on, whoa. Because, anymore that if Clayface is great, it's not time to start throwing parades yet either. If Clayface is great, it's like, okay, good. That's another good step. Another good step. Shoring things up, making things more stable. Hopefully painting a brighter future, but it's just a good step. We can't declare victory or defeat. It's much more. So we got to stop being so short-sighted. We got to start taking a broader look at these things. Look at a much bigger picture than just one failed move or one successful move. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my response to that, Thomas. And again, you're not the only one asking that, Thomas. And it's a fair thing to throw out there because a lot of people ask the same question. I would just say is,
From the waters we are born.
Guys, it was one move. Like literally 10 months ago, we were talking about what an incredible victory Superman was, but we weren't getting ready to say, that's it, DC's bigger than Marvel now, any more than Supergirl falling completely on its face does the opposite. Yeah, that's my take on it anyway, Thomas. All right, thanks for sending in the question, man. All right, next up. Corey writes in, I know Gunn said he would have different vibes, so I mean more... Is it vital to have both Clayface-type cinematography to balance stuff like Superman? No, I don't really think there's any importance to balance it out. Again, I bring our attention over to the MCU. The first three phases of the MCU, yes, very different movies, but very, very similar tone. Right? There was a distinct tone, a distinct style. Even though the characters were very different, like Ant-Man's a very different movie from Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a very different movie from Winter Soldier, but you could fairly say, I believe, that, for the first three phases, there was a very similar tone and similar style. And do any of us question the success of the MCU in the first three phases? I think not. So I don't think it's important that James Gunn makes like Clayface really different from Superman, but that is the direction he's chosen to go. So if you're going to go in that direction, just do it well. That would be what I would say to that. Anyway, good question, Corey. Thanks for writing that in there. All right, next up. Alex writes, what's your stance on bringing bags into the movie theater? I left an hour into the Odyssey because I saw this guy come in and out twice with a big bag, felt uncomfortable, and saw two other people leave. I don't know. I don't personally feel uncomfortable with it any more than I feel uncomfortable walking down the street and seeing somebody walking with a backpack. I mean, obviously, you just hit me with this question, so it's not something I've sat down and thought about at length. And maybe if I think more about it, I'll give a different answer tomorrow. But I don't mind the idea of people bringing bags into a movie theater. Like maybe a guy's riding his bike and he shows up in the theater, he's got a backpack. I don't care. Look, the bottom thing is this: when I'm out in the street, I don't assume somebody's packing a weapon in their backpack when I see a bunch of kids walking with a backpack or a woman with a big over-the-shoulder bag. I don't assume everybody's packing weapons, so I wouldn't assume the same thing in movie theater ones. And yes, there have been a couple of instances in movie theaters, but that's been 0.0000001% of all movie screenings, and I don't know that I go in suspecting that's going to happen any minute now. It could happen when I step out the front door. So, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against movie theaters that have no bags policies. Like, I think my local theater has a no bag policy. But I don't really feel strongly about it one way or the other, to be honest with you. Again, it's a very interesting question, and it's one you just hit me with, and I haven't given any thought to. So maybe I answer differently tomorrow, but my question, Punisher versus John Wick. John Wick. I think John Wick is basically immortal, so I'm going to go John Wick. Again, no disrespect to Punisher, but I'm going to go John Wick. All right, Isaac writes, thoughts on Days of Thunder sequel being officially announced with Tom Cruise returning, maybe Brad Pitt will show up as his character from F1. I'm going to save my thoughts on that until tomorrow. Like, I saw the news of that. For those of you who didn't see it, they did drop the news that they're doing that, and the director of 50/50 and Warm Bodies, I'm freezing on the director's name, but he directed 50/50 and directed Warm Bodies, and he's got a new movie coming out called Mr. Irrelevant. That's like a sports movie. And maybe directing it. But I decided our docket was already full today, so I'm going to save that for tomorrow when me and Chris, or Christine, will be on our... By the way, I'm going to do tomorrow's show from San Diego with the van. Jonathan Levine, thank you so much. Yes. Is the guy who's going to be directing it. I'm going to save my thoughts on that until tomorrow. We'll talk about that one in depth tomorrow. But, there's been a lot of talk about whether or not they're going to do a Days of Thunder F1 crossover. I would rather see a crossover than see Days of Thunder 2, but that's just me. Alright. Let's see. Where are we at? JM writes, did you see the updated Spider-Man box office update? It's now tracking to get 250 to 300 million for opening week. Domestically, you probably mean weekend. 2 billion is locked, 2 billion is not locked. And by the way, who was saying 250 to 300 million? Because I'm not saying this is the case right now, but I have experienced, and so have you guys, many times when some Gus's gas station mover who's got a fart outlet puts out a number, and then everybody starts running with it, and it didn't come from anywhere reliable. Again, I will take a look at those numbers and see where they come from, and if they're legit, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But look, even if Spider-Man had like a $300 million opening, $2 billion is not locked. The movie's got to be good. Because if the movie is super good, you can have the biggest opening you want, and it'll make a lot of money, but it ain't going to get anywhere near $2 billion. So it's all going to be about how good the movie is. That'll determine whether it gets $2 billion. But again, I'll take a look at what the real tracking sites are saying, and maybe they are the ones saying that, and then we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, thanks for running that in, JM. Next up, Aurora writes, seeing Doomsday in Chicago on Thursday, December 17th afternoon, then to AMC Lincoln Square for New York Friday on December 18th to see Doom 3 IMAX 70mm and Doomsday in Dolby. Dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I am so stoked. No, because it's not just a big day with two big movies. It's literally my number one and number two most anticipated films of the year. Doom 3 is easily my most anticipated film of the year. And Doomsday is, if I'm being honest, probably my second most anticipated. Maybe The Odyssey was my second most anticipated. Either way, two of my top three. Opening on the same day. I'm definitely going to see both on the same day, and I cannot wait. And I admit, I said this on the show yesterday, I was initially critical about the idea of both films opening on the same day. I didn't think it was a good idea, but I have been won over. And I'm on the bandwagon now, and now I'm super stoked for it. Alright, next up, Sin Vendetta writes, hey John, I've only seen Doom Part 1, but not Part 2. Well, then you're missing one of the greatest movies ever made. What are the odds of Doom Part 1 and 2 being re-released in theaters before Doom Part 3 drops in December? I don't think so. Doom isn't that kind of, they're not, what's the best way I can put it? They're not theme park ride kind of movies, that you run back and see it or re-release it. So I don't think they're going to do it, and I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I would love to watch both Doom 1 and 2 on the big screen again, but I don't think they'll do that. And I think they probably would have announced it by now if they were. Doomsday is going to have Endgame come out. They announced that way in advance. I think they would have done the same thing for Doom 1 and 2. Maybe your local theater might decide to do like, hey, we're going to screen do one and do two, but I don't know about like a full national rollout of a double feature of both. I don't think they will, but I would certainly like it. I'd be there if they did. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? We're at Austin writes, Wild by Spoon was in Tony Trailer's sounds. No idea what you mean by that, Austin. Sorry about that. I'm trying to think of details of what that means. I can't understand what you mean by that. Anyway, Venkat writes, I watched Odyssey. He sends in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Venkat. And Venkat writes, I watched Odyssey 4 times now, and my God, what a movie. It is not perfect, but Nolan made it incredible with what he got. The siren scenes haunts me the most. Music and Damon's performance lives in my head. I teared up thrice. I remember, I've still only seen it once. Anne's seen it twice. I've seen it once. But I still remember, it was only about 20 minutes into the film, that I had that feeling, I don't know that I've ever felt before, which is I feel like I'm watching one of the great epics of golden era Hollywood. You know, your Lawrence of Arabia's, your Ben-Hurs, your Cleopatras, you know, that epic style filmmaking that I don't think I've ever seen outside of that era. And obviously that was before my time, but when watching those films, it's just remarkable what he did. It is my favorite film of the year so far. So right now, my favorite films of the year so far are number 1, The Odyssey. Number 2, The Invite. Number 3, Project Hail Mary. Number 4, The Odyssey. And I'm not quite sure about number 5 yet. Might be Send Help. I like Send Help a lot. I like Send Help more than most people did, to be honest. It might be my number 5, might not be, but yeah, dude. I was just floored with what they accomplished. And then when you watch the behind the scenes of how they made the movie, it blows you away even more.
Do you think that you can hide from dark?
Like, how they made the movie is almost as remarkable as the movie itself. It's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, Venkat,
This is the case of dark.
I love it myself as well, and I can't wait to
The entrance to the vault.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I get Sheep Detective. Yep, Sheep Detective is my number 5. The oversend. I love Sheep Detective. Sheep Detective is so good, man. Alright. Let's see. Next up, we've got Austin. Again, one of the fun parts of Odyssey was realizing Nolan's been building up to this story. Night Rises story with Bruce coming back, akin to Odysseus. You know what's funny about that, Austin? There's a YouTube video. Somebody made this YouTube video, maybe on Instagram, I can't remember. Where, you know at the end of Dark Knight Rises, Michael Keaton's sitting at the cafe, and he looks over, and he sees Christian Bale and Dan Hathaway sitting at the table. Somebody made a video of Michael Caine but sitting in like ancient Greek robes. Also at some kind of cafe looking up, and it's Matt Damon sitting across from Dan Hathaway in the same kind of pose. So you are not the first person to notice that similarity, my friend. Not the first person to notice that. Alright, X-Men Superfan writes, do you think Marvel and Batman announcements will happen soon? I don't think you needed to launch the
Now you
DC.
fade into the minutes to be forgotten.
The word years anyway. At least years, like since James Gunn announced the rumors I'll say this. Even though there's not an official DC Hall H, I would say there is a 40% chance that by the end of Comic-Con, we may either get a Wonder Woman or a Batman.
Those Shinbaku bastards hired Schultz
I have no
former
insider
student to
information,
destroy my...
and I'm not going to go over 50%, but I'll say I think there's a 40% chance that we get a Wonder Woman or DC or Batman announcement as Comic-Con is going on. Again, I have no insider information, that's just my guess, so I'll say 40% on that. They do need to make one soon, though. They have to get moving on these.